My 20s was a lot of falling, out of love or having love unrequited. But I'll just share off the back of that a little piece about me and more, about my Gabby, who can't be here today, but is rooting for me. She even texted me, said, "I'm rooting for you." I'm not sure what that means, but I'm rooting for you. So yeah, me and Gabby, well, we've been together for 6 years, been married for 18 months. But for 3 decades I was running before 2 became 1. So I don't sit here and pretend to be a love doctor or a relationship expert. I only know 2 things. It's worth it and it takes work. And you don't need an English degree to know that LOVE is a verb, an active doing word. And I still remember being down on my knee when I said, "Te voy amar hasta morir," I will love you until death. But that talk wasn't cheap, not for someone with commitment issues, with my lust and trust issues and potential for indifference. And I've heard through the grapevine that relationships will cost you. Common ground and compromise. And maybe our filtered feeds and TV screens make it look a little too easy and perfect. Like all you've got to do is get down, flip it and reverse it. If you're yeah. And sometimes it's like, when we pre the messaging, we can see that it's a makeup and a breakup and it wasn't me. And maybe my mindset before marriage was dilemma. It makes sense because that was my first CD. Thanks Nelly and Kelly. So they say you should be careful what you consume or you may end up imitating. And I'm grateful for my role models, the years I watched while I was waiting, couples 50 years together through the downs and ups, my siblings raising kids and still choosing love. And I'm not idolising marriage or partnerships, so my heroes have been single for life. And I'm not worthy of love because I have a wife. We are worthy of love because we are alive, made in the image of the divine. So all I want to say to anyone struggling, navigating the relationship terrain is, may you find love for yourself each day. That's my hope. That's what I pray. Thank you. So that's kind of like my rambled, sort of take on what I've learned in the very short time I've been together. And really, I don't listen to people like me who have only been with someone for a few years. I like to listen to people who are well ahead down the line in years, who have been through it all. But yeah, I shared that with my young people I work with, just as a little nudge, because I know a lot of them are in the throes of love every single day. I walk through the corridors of my college and all I hear is, "Oh, he's not texting me back," or "Yeah, she's kind of leng, but I don't know." And I just hear it and I'm like, you're in it. So I just want them to know. And I'm not going to sing it now, but I tried to sing over them this amazing chorus by Clear Soul, who just says, "Know that you are loved, even when you don't love yourself." So yeah, that's the message. I'll give you one quick heartbreak one because I think it's good to balance it out, yin and yang. And this is something I regurgitated from when I was really young and really bitter. And I think that it's not very good, but I think it says something about where I was at the time, and that's part of it, isn't it? So, lovesick. I'm lovesick. I'm sick of waiting, I'm sick of time taking, I'm sick of painstaking, back aching, head racking, night waking. I'm sick of what I'm saying, I'm sick of poor praying, I'm sick of time not healing, I'm sick of raw pain each day, I'm sick of feeling fragile, I'm sick of porcelain, I'm sick of not being close to you. I'm sick of your token clue, I'm sick of waiting another week when I'm flat packed, broke and blue, I'm sick of chasing. I'm sick of being wired up and pacing. I'm sick of patience, sick of my mind racing, sick of memories playing time after time. That's time wasted. I'm sick of gambling and sweepstaking at sweet nothing. I'm sick of being dated, sick of Goliath beating David, sick of being defeated, sick of needing daybreak. I must confess, I'm a mess. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to budget. I need another. Maybe I need my mother. Call me a doctor. because I'm love sick. Thank you. I work in a college with 16 to 19-year-olds, but I've been a community worker most of my life, so I've tended to work with kind of 5 to 95. And yeah, just learning a lot about challenges at every part of the way when it comes to love. So yeah, this is a little poem, and I'll just show you some pictures of some ducks, some birds, if that's all right. So yeah, the other day I went walking, and I spied these 2 little ducks floating gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. Life seemed but a dream for the plucky, lucky duckies in love. They were beak to beak, and side by side, and they made me think of me and my bride. So I got home and did a bit of research and realised that these ducks are likely not mates for life. There will be no wedding day, no declaration of vows, no husband and wife. Their monogamy is seasonal, focused on breeding and feeding. They'll probably find a new partner next year. Who gives a duck about feelings? Well, I do. I love love, and I love birds. I love words. So I created this poetry in motion. I call it Lessons from Lovebirds. And yeah, there are some jokes in here, and they might fly over your head, but they quack me up. Thank you. So let's start with a joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there, sir?
Owl goes.
Owl goes.
Well, I didn't know you did impressions. But let's talk about owls, barn owls specifically, who start the dating process with gift giving and a bow. And yeah, they have their fair share of barnstorming rows, but they always end the night with a hoot and a howl. Their heads won't be turned, they're not on the prowl, they're looking for a love centered around respite. Check this out. They are home birds for life, always returning to the same nest site. The same cannot be said of the turtle doves, too busy chirping, talking about till doves do us part, but really they're quick to fly the nest with exit and a thank you next. So I want to kind of focus on a bird that actually, their love is really state of the art. Look at the swan. Necks meeting in the shape of a heart. These two, they share parental duties. You know, they may seem calm, but they'll break your arm if you try to step into their cuties. And, well, just like the swan, the starling is also co-parenting strong. Mum teaches the chicks to sing their own kind of song. Dad helps them catch the early bird, like feather like sun. But when it comes to really knowing how to pick a partner, I'd say check out the Canada goose. I'm not talking about the designer jacket or shoes, but the way the female chooses a male mate is really interesting. Yes, she loves his dancing feet and his very large beak, but she's looking beyond charisma and charm. She's seeking a mate that will provide and nurture and protect her from harm. And check this out. When one partner dies, they enter a long season of mourning. Forget doves. Have you heard when geese cry? It's truly haunting. But lastly, and certainly not least, I want to focus on the emperor penguin as an example of love. This is one of the most uniquely challenging situations when it comes to breeding, that leaves both adults under acute stress. You see, after mating, the female lays a single egg down, and then for the next 6 months she's leaving town for feeding grounds. Meanwhile, the stay-at-home dad does 90% of the incubation. He's starved of food, he's huddling with the dudes, standing still, strong and patient. And she's miles away, freezing but feeding for the future with that long-term game plan, living for the next generation, just the same as her man, who's lost half his weight when she returns home to the huddle. But they greet each other with a squawk and a kiss and a cuddle, and the egg is safe and hatched. It's amazing. So much we can learn from this partnership and sacrifice. So much of that we need in this culture. Wouldn't it be nice? So these are lessons from lovebirds. And I find it really interesting that I didn't know anything about these birds. But let's give it up for the birds. Come on, they're setting the bar. But I kind of learned all that in about a week and was just like, wow. Humans, we really struggle with commitment, but some of these birds, they lock in. So yeah, that's love, and that's some of the poems I've got about romantic love. And I want to just share a couple pieces about some of those other forms of love that I think are important, if that's all right. But yeah, for me, I want to kick off with a poem about buses, really. Who travelled by bike today? Anyone walk here? Anyone get the bus? Train? Car? Yeah. So this is a poem about buses and also about other stuff. So I didn't grow up getting the bus. I just watched who got on and who got off. The red blurred fast as it passed me by. I admired the ones who made it stop. And recently I've started getting the bus, becoming one who'd stick a hand up, standing tall and making my fuss, joining the ranks of those who stop the bus. Because the bus will run forever if it's not stopped, until someone commands it to a standstill. Its repetitive road routes are written in, it's programmed to go with the flow, and it will. So who's going to stop the bus? It can't stop, it won't stop by itself. Who's going to stand up and put a hand up? It's down to me. It's down to us. It's down to me. It's down to us. So, obviously that's about a bus, and it's also about justice and cycles of injustice. And I think for me, that's one of the things, when I think of love, I think of romantic love, I think of love of self, and I think of love of humanity and love of, other, be that a stranger or be that someone that I know. And I think for me, I admit that I think I grew up in a community. I grew up in like a hippie commune, which is, I've got a poem about that, but not for today. So I grew up living with a lot of other people and sort of seeing that, you can kind of get on with anyone really, but it is hard and people will annoy you. But I also know that for me, I'm not always spoken up or stood up, and I like to say I'm a recovering coward, because I would say that for many years there's times when I probably avoided doing the right thing, and I still do, but trying to put love for humanity before my own discomfort at times. So I got another one that is just really about that, and it's about togetherness, and it goes a little bit like this. People are poetry, and I wish I had time to read every one of you tonight, but I probably won't be able to. Yet I know that within this room, 6 of us, exists diversity in all its honesty. Because sitting here, we have a wide range of personalities and philosophies. The people on your left and right, they've got fashion, food and music tastes. A lot we could learn from each other if we choose to embrace. And yeah, we've got different football teams. Reading, Arsenal, Tottenham. We've got different dreams to be builders, artists, doctors. So whether you call yourself a carnivore, a vegetarian or a vegan, whether you're jam before cream or cream before jam, whether you're an iPhone or an Android fan, whatever your spirituality, thoughts on religion, whatever your points of view on political positions, when we strip it all away and it's just you and me, we've got one thing in common: this shared humanity. And as my hero Maya Angelou said, I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. That means that your language is not alien to me, and your baggage is not alien to me. Your journey is not alien to me. Your yearning is not alien to me. Your heartbreak is not alien to me. And your breakthrough is not alien to me. For when we look in another's eyes, our own selves we may see. And I have come to see that open-minded interaction can bypass comparison and the trappings of transaction. And I've come to see that there is so much we can achieve when we combine our brains and budgets and belief. And I have come to see that AI may take us yay high, but it will never replace the power of humans stopping to say hi. And we're awkward, and we're messy, and we're hella annoying sometimes, and we don't all run the same way or at the same pace, but I know that unity within diversity is key to flourishing for the human race. So, this is a poem for the people, a communal celebration. This is a toast to the togetherness that's helped evolve us Homo sapiens. This is a time for renewed optimism, to stop and listen, celebrating what we have in common, and when we spot the difference. Cheers! I've heard so many stories about hope. I've written so many poems and prayers, but I've never caught it. So I went for a walk to try. And as I walked, I spied her and something in my soul stirred. I approached and asked how she came to be. Where did she find that strength and beauty? And could she teach me? She did not pause to answer, but invited me to follow. Over land and sea, across forests and deserts. And as she flew, she sang that she hadn't always been like this. She was born fumbling on the floor, too close to the ground, to the cursed belly-crawling dust eaters. She sang of curling up in comparisons clench, in disbelief at her beauty and strength, let alone her potential for immensely more. And she sang of the places we can go in that state, those that force us to wallow in shame, and those that allow us to grieve what is not, and then face the day. She sang of choosing to go inward, and finding faith to fight for a new way of life. She sang of growing, of raising minuscule muscles and dropping them, each movement feeling like failure but feeding the future shape of her. She sang of showing up in painful patience each day. She sang of growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, until one day she burst out of that temporary tomb that had held her and forced her to face herself. Now face again she must, this shift in being, this seeing the world through different skin, yet exactly as it had always been. She sang of wings fluttering in ancient prayer, then flying up, up, up to the heights of the previously impossible, and then down, down, down to the ground, to where the belly-crawling dust eaters could be found. And to those who were low, she simply met their eyes with knowing and sang her song of growth. Not patronizing, but rationalizing that by faith and effort and grace, things can change. That the quotes are not just quotes. That we can believe despite the evidence. That we can be certain of what we cannot see. And just like that, she flew beyond where I could follow. But her song lingered long in the wind and in my soul. And I came home, unsure how to summarize, but knowing I had spied hope in the eyes of the butterfly. Thank you very much for listening. I'm David Joey. It's been a privilege.
I don't often write of love, but tonight I tried. I don't often speak of love because it's a word I've been informed is a sin all my life. Yet tonight I tried. Because it's easy to pretend that you want to fall in love, be touched in your soul by another who thinks you're enough. But it's hard to follow through, is it not? Like a dream you can't catch, a promise that slips through your fingers no matter how tightly you clutch. I grew up hearing two types of love. The first type found it beautiful, something to be desired, something to be adorned, something to have as life moved on. The second type found it full of disgust, a dirty thing that needs to be hidden behind glass boxes and doors, not entirely viewed, but also nor entirely gone. Which is why I don't often write of love, or talk about love, or even mention love, unless I'm whispering of a truth that I know I'll never hold. But tonight I tried to make sense of it all right, because love is beautiful and love is full of lies. Love isn't keeping yourself happy, but also making sure that you don't cry yourself to sleep every night, because love is meant to keep you safe and love is meant to keep you alive. Except, I don't think I understand. If it's meant to keep you safe, why then do we hold it with an open hand? They say love is beautiful, but also that it's full of deceit. They say love is to be trusted, but also that it could break my teeth. I've seen hands reach for love, I've seen them return with scars. I've seen eyes once filled with light grow dim and dark, because love is vulgar, love is cheap, love is a sin meant to be hidden underneath floorboards and tiles, never quite crossing the surface to meet the echoes lost in empty smiles. But I've also seen homes grow big and large, as they germinate in them, roots winding deep beneath the scars, unable to hide from the present and the past. Because love is beautiful, and love is kind. Love is a feeling that's often left undefined. Because it grows in people's laughter, it grows in the way they say your name, as if your name is a word so sacred they can only whisper it in the night, scared that it'll fade away. And maybe that's why I don't often talk about love. It's a feeling I sometimes cannot trust, or even understand. I call myself a hopeless romantic, but I'm more hopeless than I'm good at any romance. Because that would require me to understand the intricacies of a love that binds, of a love that releases, of a love that doesn't confine, and still be able to talk about it like it's something I can define. So, I don't often talk about love, because they say it's a sin in disguise. But tonight I tried.
This one's called Chat Up Lines. Do you come here often? I'm sure I haven't seen you before, because I never forget I'm sure I have seen you before, for I never forget a pretty face. It was in my dreams. And dreams do come true now that I have found you. I'd really like to get to know you better. The way you smile lights up a room. You outshine everyone else I've ever seen. For I knew I was missing something, and now I know it was you. I could be surprisingly good for you. Is the Milky Way missing a star tonight? You are so hot, I'm burning up with fever, and you are the only cure. So hold me close, don't let me go. Heaven must be missing an angel since you blew here from paradise. So come with me and I will take you to heaven. Heaven is a place on earth. No, this one is called Legend Jingles. The workshop was set to write an advert. So I wrote one for the legend that is Richard Stevenson. Thank you for coming to see the legend who is me. Where else can you spend the evening with a living legend? And if you like the show, there's a place where you can go. My romantic chateau with the lights down low. It will feel so right in the warmth of the candlelight. So come with me tonight. Let's ride back to my love shack and I'll take you to heaven and back. You all know that I must. Let me loosen that dress. Don't say no, say yes, yes, yes. I will taste your private pleasure to give you the greatest pleasure. On the nights that will never end, our passions will become living legend.
So this is my take on love. It's called Love Is. You say that you are in love. Ah, yes, love is blind, so they say. Love can also be irrational and unkind. Love is jealous. Love is suspicious. Love can cause actions that are nasty and vicious. Love can so easily turn into hate. For reasoned analysis, love will not wait. Love is more than emotionally demanding. Will love mean that there is also understanding? Love will shatter. Love will disrupt. I do not trust love. It can easily destruct. Love cuts the ties between good friends. With love, any means justifies the end. Being betrayed by a friend cuts to the core. Does the pain of broken love hurt even more? Love will use anything to maintain desire. Mess with love and you're playing with fire. How many times do the words, I love you, make you out to be a liar? Love is only a temporary indisposition, like the flu, a virus, or maybe indigestion. Love says, I didn't mean it to end like this. Love is just Cupid taking the piss. Here's some things about love when I go running, and a poem called Passionate About Love Running, which could also be maybe a chat-up line. Passionate about running. I promised you those nettles, I promised you that mud, those leg-scratching, skin-ripping brambles, some sweat and even blood. We take what nature throws at us when the trail running season's here. There'll be lung-bursting, heart-wrenching hills to run up. There'll be overgrown tracks through woods. You will finish with tears in your eyes, scratches on your skin, blisters on your feet, but you'll feel really good. We'll run miles together when the trail running season's here. We'll cross raging rivers. We'll run in rain and hail. I may even spend the night with you running on the trail. You will learn to love the mountains as we climb up to the peak. Then the ankle-wrenching, knee-jarring, bone-shaking, brain-numbing descent will make us both feel weak. But I promise you the best view as a reward for all your pain. The breathtaking view of mountains will come and come again. The perfect air is clear and sharp. But if the mist comes down, I promise I won't lose you because my navigation's sound. Yeah. We'll both love the mountains when the fell running season's here. I can promise you something physical with beauty and wonder to see. I can promise you many dirty weekends if you come running with me. Yay. Now, I used to do mountain marathons, which aren't like an ordinary marathon. It's a 2-day event where you take everything with you, your tent, your sleeping bag, cooking equipment and food, and put it in your rucksack, and it's like orienteering. And me and my friend Judy, you do it in pairs, and she's about the same height as me. And when we got fitted with our rucksacks, because we decided to get lightweight ones, the guy said, oh, well, how tall's your partner? And I said, well, it's her. Oh, no, you need to get a much bigger partner so they can carry a bigger rucksack. So we did think about advertising for some strong men to take with us for a dirty weekend in the mountains, but we decided not to. But this is what might have happened, and it's the ballad of the mountain marathon virgin. My plan to entice you to come away to the lakes and fells for a dirty weekend, did I make it clear that we were to stay in my little backpacking tent? Did I also forget to mention a mountain marathon was our treat, and it was my firm intention the 2-day event we would complete? The first day, I thought this went okay. A lovely long walk on the fells. The air was clear, the sun shone all day, and we were doing quite well. The overnight camp was in a damp, midgy field by a stream that provided our water. To brew tea, then we feasted on noodles and beans, eating much more than we ought to. Then it was time to put up our tent. It's a bit small, is what you said. It's not big enough for our night to be spent, and this field's an uncomfortable bed. We're cold and we're tired, but we can't get to sleep. Our tent zipped up against midges and flies. We've had all our food, so there's nothing to eat and naught to do but a game of I Spy. As darkness comes, it gets pretty cold, but we settle in the tent for the night. Into our sleeping bags we climb, fully clothed. And then you try to pick a fight. We're snug and we're close, but that's about it. As we lie in our tent side by side, me and you in my tent is a very tight fit, and our argument can be heard clear outside. We awake in the morning after very little sleep to a day that is dismal and damp. No time to gristle, we go forth in the drizzle and walk on to complete our trek. The mist has been down on the hill all day, can't see out, so we use a compass bearing, and you're reliant on me to navigate the way, but you keep moaning, it's getting quite wearing, because not only can you not navigate, you argue, say that I don't know the way. We keep on walking, you don't want to wait, and take no notice of what a word that I say. I shout out, stop, and it's almost too late. You halt at the brink of a crag, then you look down at what was nearly your fate, broken body removed in a bag. I see you are shaking as I come near. Are the problems that we will have now? Is it anger or cold, or maybe it's fear, but you cannot walk off from this row. It's time to take a direct route back to base. You'll have to trust and just follow me. So we continue in silence at a nice steady pace. I'll get you safely off this mountain, you see. Then you scramble and grumble down a rocky track. I can't go on, I'm exhausted, you shout. You mumble and crumble and take off your rucksack. Time to get the emergency kit out. I get you moving down to valley and fields. We're at the finish, but it's not the end. Into the marquee we go for our meal and find that it's beans again. Travelling home, we discuss the event, and I'm shocked to hear you say, next year we'll use a slightly bigger tent and I'll learn navigation and help find the way. And I've just got a poem about Valentine's Day. What's so special about a day in mid-February? Young men scurry around town with little bags from Pandora, Hotel Chocolat, Victoria's Secret, and Anne Summers if they're feeling really lucky, but their packaging is discreet. Bunches of red roses, each bloom perfect and sterile. An advert boasts a true love bouquet from M&S for 25 quid. And certain friends on You What Twitface photograph their haul, the bottles, the boxes, the cute toys, piles of stuff. A card alone is not enough. Does love have a monetary value after all? What do you do with that big teddy bear when the love for the man who gave it to you turns to hate and reminds you of that bastard every time you look at his face? Oh, Daniel Bear, you nearly had a cruel fate. I rescued you from my friend Vanessa before it was too late. There's Daniel Bear. Valentine's Day, strategically placed between the consumerist orgy of Christmas and the chocolate extravaganza of Easter, Saint Valentine the Martyr. Another offering on the altar of commercial trash, exhorting lovers to display the depth of their feeling in hard cash. My haul was a heart-shaped red lollipop from the Christians down the road, Jesus Loves Me, and £25 premium bond win from Ernie, the electronic random number indicator equipment loves me. A coincidence that it is the same price as an M&S True Love bouquet, but I spent it on cheese and chocolate.
Now the whole poem, despite obviously as I say it's a love poem, is based on the analogy of comparing women to cars. Not that I'm that much into cars, but just, you'll get it.
Best ones are like that.
I don't care about the vehicle history. I don't care how many previous owners. I don't care how many times it was serviced. If it was serviced at all, that's a bonus. I don't care if the car was mistreated. I don't care that the paint may soon fade. I don't care if the car was imported. I don't care how much someone else paid. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. Big wheels and bright lights impress people sometimes, but I'm looking for a car that suits me. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. It might not be right for you, but hey, it might be for me. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. It might not be right for you, but hey, it might be for me. There are cars for just one person, and there are cars designed for many more. There are cars of every colour, and new doesn't mean your car is worth more. There are cars for just one person. There are cars designed for many more. And there are cars of every colour, and for any young people in here, new doesn't mean your car is worth more. No, it doesn't mean the car is worth more. I don't care if the car needs a lot of TLC. And I don't care if the car is a bit noisy. And I don't care if the car seems to drink a bit much. And I don't care if the car has got a loose clutch. I'll let you lot figure that one out for yourselves. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. I forgot the last course. Here's what I'm saying. So unpracticed, man. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have trained me in time. Yeah, that was it. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. Cars with fancy paint jobs tend to be high maintenance. I'm looking for the car that suits me. All the cars that I drive through the course of my life help me decide what I need. If it's a great car and looks at home on my drive, sorry, if it's a good car that looks at home on my drive, it's a great car, I'm sure you will agree. Let's just do this bridge again. There are cars for just one person. There are cars designed for many more. And there are cars of every colour. And some cars scrape their bumpers on the floor. There you go. How lucky we are to be alive, to breathe, to run, to jump, and to dive into water, reflecting beautiful blue skies. To love, to hug and squeeze somebody tight. So many colours, so many sights, changing with seasons from day into night, working in harmony, moving as one. The moon orbits Earth as we orbit the sun. It is easy to forget just how lucky we are. To speak, to sing, to gaze up at the stars, to cook, to build, to play the guitar, to sleep in a bed, to drive in a car. I am so very grateful to be alive today. Thank you for letting me come out to play. And thank you for all those that struggled before, so that I can enjoy the struggle some more. Without the tough roads, life just isn't as sweet. You must first feel the cold to appreciate heat. To be a great winner, you must first taste defeat. We are but flowers pushing up through cracks in the concrete.